active for areas to the east. So let's take a closer look at the one that was just issued a little while ago. We have this one that's affecting Caldwell County. Still a little while out before the storms actually reach your neighborhoods. And then the newly issued one that's affecting Caldwell all the way up to Hayes and Travis counties as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm showing you the several active severe thunderstorm warnings. Then we're going to be talking about the storm system itself. I have been seeing some reports of hail with this system. If you do live in any of these areas, please let me know what you're hearing, what you're seeing. If you're able to safely take pictures or video, please submit them to us using the KVUE News app. That way you can help us tell the weather story, and we can share your content with our viewers to let them know what is on the way. So those are the 3 severe thunderstorm warnings we are currently tracking. Let me throw the Doppler radar on there. You can see that we are tracking quite a bit of lightning with this system. Now, the main impacts we're going to be tracking throughout the rest of the afternoon into the early evening are going to include the potential for damaging winds, large hail, also the possibility of some heavy rainfall that could lead to flooding, and now we will be monitoring the potential for some isolated tornadoes as well. A majority of the KVUE viewing area is under a tornado watch until later this evening around 9 p.m. for now. Let's take a closer look at this particular cell of storms. Now, we do have some storms to the north of of these warnings closely around the Burnett area. However, none of those have triggered any warnings or watches as of this time. Okay, so I'm just monitoring the comments really quickly. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can hear me. Let me know, like I said, where you're tuning in from and what you're seeing and you're hearing. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing some of the warning and watch boxes just so we can take a closer look at these cells and that you don't get too confused with all the colors you're seeing on the screen. So we do see quite a bit of activity for my friends out there in Wimberley, okay? Let me remove the severe warnings and watches. Mainly because I want to focus in on those areas that are seeing those higher reflectivity rates. Now, if you recall yesterday during the Facebook Live, I was talking to you about how those areas that are white, pink, or purple, that's higher reflectivity, and that usually indicates either hail or heavy downpours. Okay, so also just want to let you all know we are going to be doing a TV cut-in to provide an update for our viewers that are showing on air as well. So for any moment it looks like I'm stepping away from the Facebook Live and talking to the camera more on air, just know that's what I'm doing. You'll still be able to hear me, and then I'll hop back right on this Facebook Live whenever I'm done with the TV cut-in. So I'm not ending this Facebook Live. I just might step off screen for a bit and then I'll come back, okay? But once again, if you're just tuning into this now, we do have several active severe thunderstorm warnings for the viewing area. I'm just going to put this into effect for our TV cut-in. Just a moment, you guys. I just need to set up some graphics for the cut-in. No worries. Oh, I'm just trying to set up. Okay, just a moment, please. I just want to make sure I have each of the individual warnings highlighted. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm ready for that cut-in whenever y'all are. Are we doing it at the wall? Okay, you guys, for everyone on Facebook Live, I'm going to be back in just a couple of minutes. You'll still be able to hear my audio, and then you'll also be able to see some of the graphics as well. Good afternoon, everyone. We are cutting in to inform you on some updates in regards to those severe thunderstorm warnings we are tracking. We currently have 3 active warnings, one of which may be expiring in just a moment. 3:45, we had that one that was encompassing and including Hays County. I do want to focus in on 2 additional severe thunderstorm warnings that we do have active at this time. We'll start a little bit further to the north. You can see this is including Caldwell, Hays, and Travis County for the KVUE viewing area. It will be in effect until 4:45, and then we also have one just south of the area, and that's because this line of storms we've been tracking is pushing out towards the east. This one is going to be in effect until 4:30. You can see including Caldwell County for the KVUE viewing area. Now, these storms are containing some hail. We've been getting a few reports, especially around the Wimberley and the New Braunfels area. We are seeing higher reflectivity rates. Also, you can see quite a bit of lightning that is associated with these storms as well. We do have some storms just east of Burnett at the moment. No severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued for this particular system, although those storms are also strong. If you take a look at the severe weather outlook for today, you can see a majority of the KVUE viewing area, especially as you make your way east of Highway 281, is under that level 2 or slight risk for severe weather. Our main concerns for the afternoon and early evening are going to be the potential for large hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall, which could lead to some localized flooding, and also the potential for some isolated tornadoes. This is an update since our midday show. A majority of the KVUE viewing area has been placed under a tornado watch that is going to be in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. If we take a look at the future cast, you can see the bulk of the strong storms are staying to the south for the early evening hours. It increases to more of a scattered to widespread fashion for our eastern counties as we get into the 8, 9, 10 o'clock hours. It continues to push out towards the east, and it looks like we could still see an isolated to scattered shower develop overnight. As we go into Wednesday morning, some of you may be having some commuting troubles with some of those stronger storms, as we'll be tracking the possibility of more scattered to widespread showers and storms developing for your Wednesday afternoon into evening as well. This could bring some flooding concerns. We'll continue to monitor the conditions for you and provide you with updates here at KVUE on air and online. Until then, we'll return you back to your scheduled programming. Okay, all my friends on the Facebook Live, we are back. Let me just rewind this back for you. What we're going to be doing here on Facebook is we'll take a little bit more of a detailed look at the systems and storms themselves. Let me know in the comments if you're still able to hear me. I want to make sure nothing's affected with my microphone since the cut-in. Okay, we're back. We're back, you guys. Like I said, if we have anybody that's in the Facebook Live right now that is in the southern portion of our viewing area, please let me know. I would like to know what you're hearing, what you're seeing. Please make sure you're staying safe and weather aware. If you don't reside in the southern portion of our viewing area, but you have friends and family who do, you're definitely going to want to make sure they are staying weather aware, whether they have some way to get weather updates. You can do that through our KVUE News app. It's free to download on the App Store and at the Google Store. You can have those downloaded to your phone. Enable your location services, and then we'll be able to update you with any warnings or watches that get issued for your specific viewing area. So right now we have 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings. That other one expired at 3:45. The current time is 3:49 for the warnings we're monitoring here. So I'm just scrolling through the comments really quickly. Jade said it's getting very dark in Kyle. We have a few people in Kyle this afternoon. Carly's in South Austin can hear some thunder. Anastasia is hearing thunder in Jollyville. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, we have several people in Kyle right now. Carly, I see you as well. Roxy's hearing thunder in Pflugerville. Monica hearing thunder in Manchac. Michael at a middle school in San Marcos. Iris, you're asking about tornadic activity. So right now, I have not seen any reports for funnel clouds or tornadoes. We do still have that tornado watch that is going to include a majority of the KVUE viewing area. Once again, that's mainly east of Highway 281. Okay, if you're a resident of the Hill Country, your severe potential is significantly lower for the rest of the evening. In fact, you fall more under at that level 1 or marginal threat for severe storms. What I'm going to do really quickly is I want us to take a look at the hail potential, because I was seeing a few areas that were indicating the possibility of hail. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw our hail tracker on. So we can take a look at that. Here we go. Okay. So it does look like we have a pretty decent looking hail core here. Let me show you now. This is the same system that was bringing hail to the New Braunfels area. I've been seeing a few reports on Twitter for the past little minutes. Now it looks like this hail core is bigger. Let's take a closer look. So this is between, just south of San Marcos, between Hunter and Redwood. This would be hail about 1.5 inches in diameter. This system is moving east. Last time I checked, it was 25 miles per hour. Okay, thank you, Erica. So it is moving east at 25 miles per hour. What we're going to do after this, once again, people hopping on, just take a look at the size of this hail core so you know what to expect. If you are in the kind of the line, if you're east of the area that you're seeing here, so if you're east of Hunter and Redwood, go ahead and make sure that you can take some precautions, putting that car under a carport in a garage, just because you do have the possibility of hail moving your way. Let's also zoom out, and then we're going to use that tool that helps us to track who might be in the line of these particular storms. Now, the hail core is kind of, let's see, Wimberley, you may have gotten some smaller hail, but still hail nonetheless. It looks like the hail potential stretches down from Wimberley down to New Braunfels to the east of that area. What I'm going to do is I am going to throw the tool on here that's going to help us indicate when we can see some of these storms moving through. So Erica, you said east at 25? East at 25. Okay, thank you. Up to $half sized hail. So here are the areas that need to be on alert, tracking the speed of this storm and the direction of this storm. So my friends out there in Luling, you need to be on alert by 3:58. So that's in the next 7 minutes or so. Buda by 4 o'clock. Lockhart by 4:13. Mustang Ridge by 4:18. This is just a list of areas, some of the areas that need to be on alert. This does not include all of them, just giving you kind of a perspective geographically of the direction and the speed of which this system is moving. So once again, I'm seeing multiple questions in regards to tornadoes and should we be worried about tornadoes. The tornado threat does go until 9 o'clock this evening. What I'm going to do in just a moment is I'll pull up the area that's included in the tornado watch. It does encompass a majority of the KVUE viewing area except for the hill country. So Jessica, I don't know where you're tuning in from, but if you're in the hill country, the tornadic threat will be gone, or is not located in the hill country. If your reservations are before 9 o'clock, just keep in mind there will be a tornado watch that's still in effect. Zach, your question is, why is there a possibility of tornadoes rather than just a flood threat? And that's because the current ingredients that we have in the atmosphere, I know specifically, let me see what we were tracking. I was reading a discussion. There was a mesoscale low pressure that was present in the atmosphere that it's kind of like holds the ingredients that could help create tornadoes. That threat was not there earlier in the morning, or the forecast models weren't indicating that that was going to be a possibility. Now it has developed. The flood threat is there due to the heavy amounts of rainfall that we're tracking within these storms. And then with the meso low that's present, we could see the possibility for some tornadic activity. Right now, the tornado threat is more on the isolated side. I haven't seen in the discussions how we're concerned about a widespread tornado threat. Perfect. Sure thing. At 4, okay. Okay, just to give everyone the heads up, we will be doing a cut-in on air at 4 o'clock, so I'll be going silent at 4 o'clock, but we'll still leave the Facebook Live going as well. Okay. Well, and they'll be able to hear you on Facebook Live through that mic?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm actually turning it on right now, so we can mic check if you want to check the audio levels.
Hey, everyone. Let me know in the comments if you can hear Chief Meteorologist Erica Lopez.
Hello. Mic check, mic check. We're just going to make sure this is up and running, and then, yeah, I'll be monitoring National Weather Service in the chat and seeing what reports are coming in. But you guys can also let us know what reports are coming in. Let us know what you're seeing and hearing. And also let me know if you can hear me okay.
Okay, so this is just following up on a question that, okay, I'm hearing a lot of yes.
Cool.
Yes, yes, so we can hear you. Okay,
Perfect.
awesome. Thank you, guys. So this is following up on a question that we received just a couple of minutes ago about the tornadic threat for today, or this evening, I should say. The areas that you see shaded in yellow right now do fall under that tornado watch. That is until 9 o'clock this evening. So you see it's basically everywhere except Burnett, Llano, Mason, and Gillespie counties that are falling under this tornado watch. Everywhere else is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock this evening. Okay, Michelle wants to know about the storm around the Burnett area. Okay, we can quickly take a look at that one. Like I said, I want to focus a little bit more time on the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect, but we do have more than just that storm that is currently happening. Also, if you are in southern Blanco County, you are probably hearing a few rumbles of thunder as well and some heavier downpours. So this is the cell that just pushed through Burnett town and is now on the eastern side of Burnett County, about to enter into, looks like northern Travis and also Williamson County. I'm not seeing, let's take a look at the hail potential right now. I'm not seeing any hail core with this specific cell, and I have not seen any viewer reports for the hail potential there as well.
So the most reports I'm seeing right now are definitely the severe storms pushing in our southern counties. So Hayes moving into Caldwell County. And the biggest reports that we're seeing are wind gusts. Okay. So if you're in the path of the storms south, that's where the strong wind gusts are occurring right now. Not seeing too much in the form of hail, but up to $half size hail is possible at this time.
Yes. Okay.
65-mile-an-hour wind report in New Braunfels.
65-mile-per-hour wind report. Okay. So once again, that falls under that damaging wind gust potential that we're going to be tracking for the rest of the afternoon into the evening. There was just a 65-mile-per-hour wind gust reported in New Braunfels a few minutes ago that we were seeing. I see Scott mentioned that it is hailing in San Marcos. Scott, are you able to see about how large that hail is?
Hey, level check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, level check, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we're doing a mic check to prep for our TV cut-in. If you guys want to join in on the TV side, I'll be popping in about a minute and a half.
And we're going to drive from Max 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay? Cool.
Wait, so you're going to be at the wall or is she going to be at the wall?
I'll be at the wall,
Okay.
and then he's going to man radar.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, everyone. Yeah, if you are still on this Facebook Live or just tuning in now, we are about to do a cut-in on KVUE in order to give an update for our television viewers. We're going to continue to let this Facebook Live go. You'll also be able to hear the information that Erica is providing on air, and then we'll be hopping back right onto the Facebook Live to talk with everyone in the comment section in just a few minutes.
It's probably going to be a slightly longer cut-in too. Sorry, Ellen.
Flash flood warning in Kamal.
Good evening, Central Texas. Chief Meteorologist Erica Lopez here, wanting to talk about a weather update with a line of severe storms that's ongoing right now. So several severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued throughout this evening. The two active ones that are impacting parts of central Texas, especially along I-35 right now. That includes parts of Hays County, Travis County, Caldwell County. These storms are moving to the east at about 25 miles an hour. So our biggest concern, if you're in the path of these storms, is strong damaging winds at this time. We've already seen wind gusts reported as high as 65 miles an hour with these storms as they continue to move east. They're slow moving storms, so they're not moving out very quickly. Also dumping heavy rainfall rates. If you're in the path of these storms, they have the history of producing up to 3 inches of rain by the time they clear out. So we're going to be monitoring that very closely. As a matter of fact, just outside of our viewing area in Comal County, a flash flood warning was issued because of the amount of heavy rain that's associated with this storm. That's in effect until 7 p.m. So I would not be surprised if anyone that's in the path of this line of storms that's moving east, again, it does include parts of Travis County, Hays, Caldwell County, we may have some flash flooding be issued, at least a flash flood warning later on this evening as this line of showers and storms pushing through. Keep in mind also, the grounds are already so saturated from the rounds of showers and storms that have already happened and that are expected to continue to happen. We remain under a severe weather threat this evening. Biggest concerns will be large hail, that's possible. Damaging winds, that's our greatest concern right now for our southern counties, and heavy rainfall. I think that's going to be the major concern as we fast forward through the rest of the work week. Now, also keep in mind this evening we're under a tornado watch until 9 p.m. It includes almost our entire viewing area, our central and eastern counties, along with Blanco County. So the hill country, we're not seeing that much of a rotation threat within these storms. Computer models are hinting the majority of the activity will be for our central and eastern counties, and that's going to be something we're watching out for. We have not seen any rotation quite just yet, but the atmosphere is capable of producing severe thunderstorms that could bring in a rotating storm, which in return could bring a tornado later on this evening. Please make sure to stay weather aware. Here's what Future Track is showing. Activity pushing throughout the evening into the later portion of tonight. Isolated severe storms will definitely be possible with heavy rainfall rates, large hail. Computer models are showing that we quiet down overnight before another round of strong storms is possible early tomorrow morning. So the good news is that the severe threat overnight, it's not looking too intense. I think the majority of it will be this evening. Throughout the later portion of the evening, we will be here. I'm here throughout the whole night. Meteorologist Shane Hinton is in the studio with me right now. He's actually manning graphics and helping us, make sure you guys are safe and aware with what's going on. The wet weather continues as we fast forward into Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday, which is why that flash flood watch continues. So again, heads up. We're cutting into programming right now for 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings. They're not tornado warnings, but we do recommend that you treat them as tornado warnings because of the strong wind gusts that are associated with these storms. Reports of wind gusts of up to 65 miles an hour. We know what these type of winds can cause. Damage like a tornado can cause, but they're straight line damaging winds. So it really is just how the debris falls basically with this wind gust that's capable. We're not seeing rotation with it. Straight line damaging winds can cause just as much damage. So the 2 warnings, the one in our southern parts of our viewing area, Caldwell County, that's in effect until 4:30 p.m. But if the storm holds together, the National Weather Service will continue to extend that warning as it moves east. The second warning that includes parts of Hays and Travis County, along with parts of Caldwell County, that's in effect until 4:45 p.m. Both of these storms are moving east at 25 miles an hour, so they're slow-moving storms, dropping heavy rainfall rates. A quick 3 inches of rain will be possible. I would not be surprised if the National Weather Service has to issue some type of flash flood warning if you're in the path of this storm. So as far as what we're monitoring right now, I was just about to ask you to do this, Shane. He read my mind to put a storm tracker to kind of help time out who's in the path of this storm and when exactly it could arrive to your neighborhood. So the next person this storm is knocking on your, neighborhoods, I should say, that's knocking on your doorstep, Lockhart. In about the next minute or so, you're hearing lots of rumbles of thunder right now with lots of clouds of ground lightning. The heavy rain's moving into your area right now. Then it's moving into Mustang Ridge, Sandy Fork at about 422, Red Rock at about 428. If these storms hold together, Rosanke, it could approach your area just before our 5 p.m. newscast. around 4:45 this evening. But the biggest issue right now is moving through I-35. That's where heavy downpours are ongoing right now. If you had plans to go on I-35 here in the next couple of minutes, just hold off until these storms push through. Give yourself a solid 30 minutes or so. They are slower moving storms. And on top of that, we do have a little bit of a hail threat with these storms. Now, the hail report's not overly impressive, but up to $half size hail is possible, especially right now along I-35. So we'll watch if any of those hail reports are coming in. The strongest hail core I see right now, Kyle, is moving into your neighborhood. So if you're just east of Kyle, east of I-35, you may have 1 minute or so to put your vehicle indoors. Doppler is estimated, in the garage. Doppler is estimating hail of up to 1 inch size in diameter. That would be considered severe size hail. Okay, I haven't seen any reports quite that large just yet. This hail, whenever a Doppler is estimating it, it does melt, so it becomes a little slightly smaller by the time it touches the ground. So that's why I think $half size hail is more convincible within that storm. Again, that's moving to the east, so Maxwell, Mustang Ridge, Lockhart. If you guys are tuning in right now, you have some time to put your vehicle in the garage, make sure it's covered, make sure you're staying safe, and be prepared for a quick heavy 3 inches of rain that will be possible, damaging winds of up to 65 miles an hour that will be possible, and up to $half size hail. So that's the only severe threat that I'm seeing right now. We do have a line of showers and storms that's just pushing through. Shane, let's see what's happening right here. Actually, these storms are blossoming out in Williamson County. They're considered non-severe right now, but it is going to be a nuisance for anyone trying to hit the road and travel on I-35 here within the next 15 minutes or so. We have cloud to ground lightning and heavy rainfall rates that will be possible. Not seeing anything that may turn this storm severe quite just yet, but we'll be watching it very, very closely. So heads up if you live in Georgetown, Round Rock, Arboretum, you're not completely in the clear from the rain. It is just west of you as these storms are moving to the east, again at about 25, 30 miles an hour. So an active evening on tap. We'll be watching it here in the KVUE Storm Center. I'm going to send you guys back to programming. If you want to tune in, hop in on our digital platforms. Shane Hinton and also I will be on there tracking these storms. If you want to continue to chat with us, if you have any questions, we can answer them live for you on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, any digital platform. But for now, I'll let you guys go and we'll check in with you shortly.
Okay, everyone, we are back on Facebook Live. I'm going to be scrolling through the comments here, making sure I can help address any questions. I'm seeing a lot of people in Kyle right now. So naturally, that does fall under that severe thunderstorm warning that we're currently tracking. I do want to zoom in a little bit closer to the Kyle area, just because I know.
Did you see that report? So folks are reporting blinding, twisting rain in the Kyle area. So I want to see if there's rotation in that storm.
And I do know that there were going to be reports of extremely reduced visibility due to heavy rainfall. I mean, you're not going to want to be on the roads anyway with this kind of weather, you guys. But just to be aware, visibility will be severely reduced. Carolina, you're talking about, I see you mentioning in the comments how outside it looks like the clouds are rotating. Can you share what area you're tuning in from, just so we can kind of maybe hone in here on the Doppler? I can also try and throw that velocity scope on here. Just as a refresher for folks, okay, I see over Kyle, maybe. What do you think, Eric, right there?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Right there.
I was reading a text message.
In regards to, I'm getting a few viewer reports in the comments.
Yep.
Mentioning about, looks like maybe some rotating clouds.
Yeah, I could definitely see rotation there. That's moving just east of I-35. I mean, you see a lot of areas where Doppler's picking up possible rotating storms. Mm-hmm. So it's very possible. It's not defined, extremely defined, but there's some type of rotation in that storm. Okay, so thank you for these reports, guys. Definitely keep them coming in. Eric's mentioning that experiencing hail in Kyle right now. Spring Branch on Kyle is experiencing hail.
Jeff saying he can hear some rumbling thunder approaching Pflugerville. So yes, I'm seeing multiple reports of hail in Kyle at the moment. Ryan asking, is Leander included in that tornado watch? Yes, I believe Leander does fall with, yes. Leander is falling under that tornado watch that's in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. Okay, so let's take a closer look back at here. Once again, kind of doing a refresh here because I know I didn't get to mention it earlier because this happened whenever we were going in for our cut-in. We do have a flash flood warning just outside of the viewing area. That's going to be until 7 o'clock this evening. The current time is 4:09 to 4:10. Now this is due to the fact that area, so just to give you some perspective in regards to the rainfall, we are seeing reports heavy rain between 1 to 3 inches fell behind this system, and that is causing some flash flooding. Actually. Crystal mentioning things she thinks she's seeing rotation in Lockhart. I'm not sure if it would be exactly in Lockhart just yet. I'll throw the velocity scope back on it again. It could be around Lockhart. I'm not sure if it's yet arrived to you, but we are seeing, like we said, as we utilize this tool that you see on your screen right now, the reds and the greens are indicating incoming and outgoing, inbound and outbound winds. And what we look for in rotation is when we kind of see a little notch in the greens and the reds that would typically indicate rotation. Now this would be radar indicated rotation. That does not necessarily mean rotation is present or that there would be a tornado present, but it is a good indicator, if you will, that we have to pay closer attention to those areas. So we're definitely keeping a very close eye on these storms because there is some sort of rotation there, but that does not necessarily mean a funnel cloud is present or that there is a tornado that is present. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to zoom out here. Just want to give some perspective to this again. So these storms now, kind of like almost they've connected the storms that are to the north and to the south. The highest severe threat right now is for our southern counties, pushing out towards the east. I believe the last report we were getting was moving east at 25 miles per hour. Residents in Luling, conditions are going to start picking up for you and start deteriorating very quickly. So if you are tuning in from Luling, please be on alert. Those of you in Pflugerville, you do have storms that are on the way to Pflugerville, yes, but the severe thunderstorm warnings are not currently, that are issued, are not currently including Pflugerville. So yes, still seeing multiple reports of hail in Kyle. Thank you, Vanessa. Carly's saying the power is flickering at her residence in Kyle. Angelica saying it's already hailed in San Marcos, but the rain has calmed down. Once again, you guys, if you are able to safely take pictures or video of anything that you're seeing or experiencing, or after the heavy and the nasty stuff has moved on, please feel free to take pictures and submit them to us. We can utilize those in telling the weather story and alerting people of what they can expect as these storms continue to push out towards the east. Through the Doppler loop of the last hour. Yeah, I'm notice that, Erica. Take a look at that between Buda and San Marcos, how this rotation.
I shut off my mic, I think.
But do you notice that?
Yep.
That will spin. I think that would also kind of correlate to what people are saying in regards to the rotation that we're seeing in that area that we were seeing reports near there.
There definitely could just be some mid-level rotation there that's rotating the storm that we can pick up on Doppler. Mm-hmm. But we haven't had any official reports of seeing anything on the ground. But we clearly see rotating there on the radar.
Correct. Okay, so if you're just hopping in and joining us on this Facebook Live, we are currently tracking 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yeah, that's the meso low.
That's the meso low that we were discussing that has brought the tornado threat. I know the National Weather Service was mentioning that, and I've seen a few questions from viewers saying, okay, good. Everyone said that they can still, in fact, hear you.
Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah, I had shut off my mic for a second, and then I totally forgot to turn it back on. But yeah, so that's the meso low that's happening. And what's it called? We're starting to see some hail reports coming in from Hays County around the Kyle area. Quarter size hail. So estimated size about an inch or so. So if you're just ahead of Kyle, that's where we're starting to see 1 inch size hail possible. So Mustang Ridge, Niederwald, you want to make sure your cars are protected. There's that hail core.
Yep.
It's crossing I-35. So heads up, we do have a good size amount of hail that would cause some damage to your vehicles or anything outdoors you don't want damaged.
Okay, you guys, yeah, so let's take a closer look at that hail core. Yeah, just over, I mean, what the indication we're getting here from radar is just over an inch in diameter for hail. So this is significant hail. If you do have that possibility or that potential to, or capability to put your car under a carport or under a garage or a parking structure, would strongly encourage you to do so now. It is approaching 183. So all the areas that Erica just mentioned a few moments ago. Let me also zoom out, and then I'm going to apply that tool really quickly that is going to allow to alert a couple of people. So this is not where the hail core is located. And we're also using the speed of which it was moving a little while ago. So all the areas you see on your screen right now, including Lockhart. Lockhart, you're in the next minute or so. So you have very, very little time. So just make sure you are staying weather aware, making sure that you take any precautions that you need to. This is what I've done is I've utilized the tool to show you when some of the heavier downpours are on the way. That is not where the hail core is. The hail core on your screen right now is highlighted in the blue, the grays. That's showing where the hail potential is highest. Anywhere outside of that, what we're noticing on radar indication is that is rain, very, very heavy rain. So the areas that you see on your screen right now do need to be on alert. The times that you see next to it are when these conditions would arrive to you. Felix saying thunder is more consistent now in Cedar Park. Crystal is tracking some heavy wind and rain. Tanner mentioning how dark it's getting in North Austin. Yes, so that's, like I said, we are still tracking some storms to the north. There are no, currently there are no, as of 4/17, there are currently no active thunderstorm warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings to the north. So let me pull back up. I'm going to once again remind people of that tornado watch that's in effect. Because we have had a few questions about tornadoes and what's the potential for tornadoes this afternoon and this evening. That tornado watch is in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. That includes everywhere that you see here shaded in yellow. This also is pretty much in line with the Storm Prediction Center for severe weather for the rest of the day into the evening. The Storm Prediction Center did put all the areas you see shaded in yellow. That is a level 2 or slight risk for severe weather. And that pretty much correlates with where that tornado watch is located. The areas you see that fall outside that level 2 is a level 1, which is a marginal risk. You see the main concerns on your screen right now are large hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall, and that heavy rainfall could lead to some flooding. We already are tracking one flash flood warning that is just outside of the KV viewing area. So we know that the cells that are currently pushing through are capable of creating flooding.
Mia has given us the storm report here. I also have the Facebook Live popped up, so if you guys have any questions, I'm monitoring those also. Mia saying that it's raining really hard in San Marcos right now. But you know what, Mia? The worst of it is almost over. And then we'll have probably some scattered showers push through San Marcos throughout the evening. But the worst of it, you're almost done clearing out from you guys for now. But sorry. No, Nikki's saying, yeah, in South Austin, starting to pour really hard and lots of thunder. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just pulling up on Annie's comment that we were mentioning here about asking, have they lowered projected rainfall totals?
Yeah. Great question.
So I know that so far, whenever we're showing the rainfall projections from here on out for the rest of the week, keep in mind that the graphic we're showing you is from today on for the next 6 to 7 days. So the rainfall totals are adjusted for what we still have left. They don't factor in what we've already acquired, because we did have some pretty healthy and large rainfall totals from yesterday's system. Correct, Erica?
Yes, correct. Computer models did overdo Tuesday. compared to what is actually happening right now. So to answer that question, we are lowering forecast projected rainfall accumulation slightly, only because Tuesday did not end up being as much of a soaking day for a lot of areas, but isolated spots such as right now San Marcos, Buda, who's getting dumped on, will pick up that quick 3 inches of rain. And I just had another question here if we're going to see more, and yes, isolated spots will still be able to have some higher rainfall totals. Wednesday is still looking like a heavy rainfall day overall, so we're just going to have to take it day by day, just like computer model runs for what shows our future track, our forecast change. That rainfall projection changes just as quickly as well, and it's based off of what future track is showing.
Yep, so right now I'm giving you a full look at that future cast. Once again, it's worth noting the importance of why Eric is saying we're going to take it day by day is that the forecast models are not entirely in agreement. There are quite a few discrepancies between them, but what we do is we want to point out overall trends that are common between all the forecast models. So right now I'm showing you one of the high resolution models that do indicate scattered to widespread showers for the rest of the evening, especially for our eastern counties that do fall under that slight risk for severe weather. As we go into your Wednesday morning, we are also still going to be tracking the potential for scattered to widespread showers and storms. Now, something worth pointing out is that earlier in the day, let me pop back up on the screen for you really quickly, guys. Earlier in the day, the forecast model was indicating a wide sweep from west, from portions of the hill country well on to the east, all the way through the viewing area. Now, the high resolution models are showing it more starting towards the I-35 and moving east. So it's not as widespread as it is kind of like 50% of the viewing area as you make your way from I-35 east. So keep that in mind. The reason why we're constantly doing these Facebook Lives, we're updating our blogs, and we're updating our forecasts on air is because these high-resolution forecast models are consistently changing. So we're trying to provide you with the most up-to-date and most recent information. So I'm going to pull right back up into that the active severe thunderstorm warnings that we're currently tracking. I am also currently monitoring the Facebook comments. I know, Sarita, you're asking, can we get a storm tracker on the line heading into Round Rock? Looks like we'll be right around 5 when we drive home. So are we about to do a cut-in, you guys?
At 4:25, just a heads up.
4:25? Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. So Round Rock, for all my friends up there in Round Rock, let's take a look at those storms really quickly. So the system that's to the north, Erica, is that still with 25 miles per hour to the east? I haven't seen any reports in regards to the speed.
I haven't either.
I might apply the same one just to give us an estimate.
I would put 30 just in
30?
case.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to be a little bit on the safer side.
That's true. Okay, so what you're looking at right now, Sarita, I know I saw your question about the line of storms moving towards the Round Rock area, moving toward I-35, that's stretching for our northern counties. Residents in the domain should be alert by 4:30, Round Rock by 4:34, Del Diamond by 4:39, Taylor by 5:02 if it stays together, which models are indicating that there is a good chance that it will. So once again, this is for that northern band of the storms. Still plenty of lightning associated with this. We were not tracking a hail core or hail potential with this particular line of showers to the north, but we are seeing a hail core for the southern counties. Now, once again, we are about to hop on air for Erica's about to do a cut-in. What I'm going to do is the Facebook Live is still going to continue. You'll be able to hear her microphone and hear her audio, but we will not be able to respond to questions until we finish the cut-in. So I'm going to continue to monitor the questions and your reports and allow you to still continue to see the graphics, and we'll be right back in a few minutes, okay? So stay with us, and we'll be right back in just a little bit.
Or you can hop on the TV side also.
Oh, yeah, hop on the TV side. Look at Erica.
Got 20 seconds.
In about 20 seconds, yes. She'll be greeting you with a smile.
15.
Oh, I realize that.
Stand by. 5.
Is it just one warning?
4, 3, 2.
Good evening, Central Texas. Tracking some severe storms pushing through our viewing area. Want to talk about the active warnings in effect right now. Hays County, Travis County. You likely hear the thunder. You likely see the heavy rainfall that's been pushing through if you live along I-35. That's now clearing eastward, but we still have 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing. So let's talk about warning number 1. It has the possibility of dropping up to 3 inches of rain if it's pushing over your neighborhood. Folks in the path of this storm would be Bastrop County, Cedar Creek, you're next. Heavy rain starting to push through Lockhart, Kyle. If you're tuning in from Kyle, the heavy rain starting to taper off. We're going to still have some scattered showers moving in behind that, but this is the severe part of the storm. Gusty winds of up to 65 miles an hour possible. Along with that, I've seen reports of 1-inch size hail within these storms. That's the greatest report I've seen, but that's large enough to be considered severe size hail that could bring in some damage to your vehicle. So if you're ahead of these storms or even within the polygon and you're able to put your vehicle indoors in the garage, I would highly recommend to do so. Heavy rain ongoing right now with the 2nd severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for parts of Caldwell County. This right now is dropping again heavy rainfall rates, gusty winds of up to 65 miles an hour. I've seen reports of up to quarter-size hail with this isolated storm. So that's pushing to the east at 25 miles an hour as well. Aside from the active warnings that are in our viewing area, I also want to point out there's a flash flood warning just west of our viewing area. That's associated with the storms that push through. So what that tells me is that the line of showers and storms moving through our south and eastern counties has the capability of causing some flash flooding. Right now, that warning's in effect for Comal County until 7 p.m., but that does not mean that we don't have that threat. We are still under a flash flood watch in effect until Thursday, as a matter of fact. And on top of that, we're under a flash flood watch, a tornado watch throughout this evening as well. So this is the most severe threat. The good news, remember that 1-inch hail size and diameter that I pointed out with this storm pushing through Kyle? I do see a weakening trend with that hail core as it moves eastward. So good news there, but these storms are still severe strength, and they could possibly redevelop and strengthen and create a larger hail core quite again. But as far as what Doppler's estimating, hail up to about 1/2 inch size, right now 0.7 inches, but that does melt by the time it gets to the ground. So about, again, 1/2 inch size hail is possible. Still enough to cause some damage, some dings to your vehicle. So heads up for that. Seeing a smaller hail core with the possibility of 1/2 inch size hail. But again, I think that would be closer to maybe penny size or nickel size hail by the time it touches the ground. That's pushing through Luling right now. Here's a look at that tornado watch that's in effect until 9 p.m. and our entire viewing area may see some severe storms. We're under a slight risk and a marginal risk throughout the rest of today. So counties included in the tornado watch are for our central and eastern counties. Just want to give you a reminder of what that means. That means that areas shaded in yellow are conducive for development of any severe storms, which we're seeing right now, but then possible rotation within some of those storms. As a matter of fact, we have seen some rotation within some of these storms as a meso area of low pressure, which is a very localized, small area of low pressure that does happen. And folks, we actually had reports out along I-35 and in Kyle Butte area, and they were telling us that they were seeing spinning rain. So spinning rain, you would think rotation within the storm, and it was rotation within the storm, but it's what we call a meso low, not necessarily meaning that we have rotation touching the ground with a funnel cloud, which would be a tornado, but it does have strong winds. You see that? We're taking a look at, Shane is manning radar, by the way, so thanks for doing that, Shane. But you can see the rotation within that storm. This radar does a good job as we're taking a look at velocities, its winds within that storm, of picking up that meso low. Meso lows produce that tornado threat. It produces an enhanced rainfall rate also within these storms, and that brings in those gusty winds that may be rotating a little bit. So even though we're just seeing severe thunderstorm warnings, you have to treat it as if it were a tornado warning also, because of the damaging winds that could happen within that storm. So pretty interesting spotting that there. Okay, the update with the tornado warnings that are in effect right now, National Weather Service has moved them further east. So what that means is that the storms, as they move east, next folks should be on guard, include parts of Bastrop County, still parts of Travis County. That's where the heavy rain's ongoing right now, but I would say Bastrop and parts of Fayette County. Now you guys need to prepare for the possibility of those strong gusty winds, some hail. You have time to prepare to put your vehicles in the garage. Make sure you bring your pets inside, any plants you don't want damaged, any patio furniture you don't want flying around. Any trash cans, if it's trash day, you want to bring those in, also secure them, at least until this severe line of showers and storms starts to move eastward. We'll be watching that very, very closely. So again, that's going to be our greatest threat that we're monitoring, but we still have a severe weather threat throughout the rest of the evening. Let's take a look at future track also to try to plan out how the rest of the evening will go, because I'll be honest, computer models have not been agreeing with what has been happening. What we do know is that we're going to have active weather for the next several days, right? We have upper level areas of low pressure. We have an influx of Gulf moisture. We have meteorological phenomena that are occurring like meso lows, which enhance the rotation threat within these storms. So we have a lot going on, and we just have to be on guard for the next few days because rounds of storms will continue to be initiated from all of those factors I just mentioned. On top of that, flash flooding is going to be a big concern because of the rounds of storms that's falling on top of saturated ground already. So this evening, heaviest of the rain is expected for our central and eastern counties. The good news is that they start to clear out after midnight, so I don't think we have to worry about an overnight severe weather threat. As I take you out to early Wednesday morning, some spotty showers start to redevelop, but what this particular computer model is showing is a round of storms possible yet again early tomorrow morning, mainly for our central and eastern counties, which is why we're expecting the heaviest of the rainfall rates throughout this week for our central and eastern counties. And that may hang on until Friday. I don't think it's going to be a completely washout of a day. I think it's going to be very similar to what we've had the last couple of days. We'll have some sunshine, we'll have a decent amount of warmth, and then rounds of storms may push through that could turn severe, which is why it's just important to stay weather aware. Make sure you have the KVUE app downloaded on your phone, which is free, by the way, and that's where you can track radar also. So our severe weather outlook for today includes a slight risk for our central and eastern counties, which means scattered storms, which is what we're seeing right now, are possible. Large hail, damaging winds, and flooding. That's going to be our greatest threat. But we do have a rotation threat this evening, which means isolated tornadoes is something we can't rule out. So let's take a look at radar one more time before I let you guys go back to programming, and then we'll be ready on the TV side to check in with you about 5 p.m. for our newscast. So I'll have updates there. But this is the most active area that we're tracking heavy rain that's ongoing with wind gusts of up to 65 miles an hour, starting to clear through I-35. But folks that are in the path of these storms now would be Bastrop County and also Fayette County. The heaviest of the rain is now clearing out of Buda, the Kyle area. San Marcos, you're seeing a break from the heavy rain right now. You're not completely done for the day. We have scattered showers that are non-severe lagging behind there, but this is going to be our biggest concern. Shane is adding a tracker there to kind of track out who's in the path of that storm as it moves through the severe warned area. Folks in Cedar Creek by 4:40 is what models are saying that this storm would be moving into your neighborhood. So you have about 5 minutes to get your car in the garage. Smithville, Page, you're included in that as well. Here we are, Smithville, around 5:11. During the newscast, I'll be tracking the storm moving through your neighborhood. Page about 5:23. And if this storm holds together, Schulenburg, you're next at about 5:30. It's been a strong storm. It's held together. So I think that's very, very possible that's going to hold together for the next 30 minutes or so. Okay, I'm going to let you guys back to programming, and we're going to check in with you shortly. But we do have live streams going on all of our digital platforms. Shane Hinton will hop on that side, and I'll be chatting as well. That's where you can ask any questions. That's where we'll be answering your questions live, and also giving us your storm reports. So that'd be great to see what you're seeing, what you're hearing in your neighborhood. But we'll check in with you soon. Be safe.
Okay, everyone, we are back here on the Facebook Live, continuing to monitor those comments. and questions that you may have. Once again, if you're just hopping on now live, let us know where you're tuning in from, especially if you're tuning in from some of our southern counties that are seeing the most severe weather potential at the current time. We are also continuing to monitor discussions with the National Weather Service as we speak. Let's see, with both gusty winds just south of Austin, we're seeing gusty winds 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail possible. Watching some circulation to the southeast of Luling, where there is currently a severe thunderstorm warning. Speaking of that, why don't we just go ahead once again and take a look at the velocity radar there that we used to kind of see if we can see any rotation. We're going to take a closer look here. Friends up there that are currently in our northern counties, I will get to some of your storms in just a second. We just want to take a look at where we could possibly be seeing any rotation. Just southeast of Luling. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit, not as clear of a defined circulation that we may have been tracking a little while ago. Let's see, I see a question from Diane asking, will Buda get another round? I am seeing, let's see, I am seeing a few scattered showers that are behind that strong line of storms that just pushed through. I don't think, as of now, I don't know if it's going to be as strong. I doubt it will be as strong because whenever we have strong storms like this push through, all the ingredients that really make for a strong storm, they kind of get burnt up in the atmosphere. So I don't know if we're going to have enough oomph, if you will, to warrant another batch of strong storms immediately right now with the scattered showers and storms that you're seeing behind it right there near the Canyon Lake area and in Blanco County, southern Blanco County. But I'm not saying that rain and a few isolated storms are not possible. I just don't think you're going to get another strong wave immediately right now. But once again, keep in mind we're going to be tracking multiple days of these strong storms. So it's not just now where you're going to be noticing it, or today that the threat is over. So yeah, now we've got a pretty healthy line of storms stretching throughout north to south of the KVUE viewing area. But once again, the severe potential and the strongest storms are located just to the south of Austin. Okay, the south of Austin are seeing our strongest storms. It doesn't mean that there aren't some pretty heavy downpours that are happening in the Georgetown and Round Rock areas. That just means the severe potential right now is for our southern counties.
I'm seeing some crazy storm reports right now. This one's from Paula on her Facebook feed. So she's in Buda and she's saying she has missing shingles,
wow,
dog cages, and trampolines that were blown over, as well as her fence.
Oh, wow.
So pretty intense. Hey, if you guys have any of those photos, you can tweet them to us. You can also go to the KVUE app and submit your photos there, and that's where we can possibly show him on air to tell the weather story through what's happening in your neighborhood. So thank you so much for that report, Paula. I hope everyone's staying safe out there.
Now, I'm seeing a question from Alfredo saying if there were to be a tornado, will we be able to tell you what the strength of the tornado is? So that brings up a pretty good point. So whenever there is a tornado warning that is issued, there are different types of indication of a tornado warning. There are radar indicated tornado warnings, and then there are confirmed sightings, like viewer reported or storm spotted tornado warnings. Now, in order to assess a tornado, if one made a touchdown on the ground, and to assess the strength if one did occur, the National Weather Service will send out a survey report and then will report back to all of us and send us the information as to, one, if the tornado was confirmed, and then two, what the strength of that tornado is. That typically happens the day after because they have to wait for conditions to calm down. The sun has to be up so that they can thoroughly conduct their assessment, and then they send us the grade. So we'll typically report on it the day after, online, on air, and on our digital platforms. So if for any reason there were to be a tornado warning issued, we would be able to get you that confirmation or lack thereof the next day, typically. But due to the fact that we have so many active days of storms, it might hinder their ability to go out and do an assessment. That just depends on the area. So I'm throwing back the hail tracker again. As Erica mentioned, it does look like that hail core is starting to weaken a bit, but that does not mean that it can't regenerate or get stronger. This is around where that meso low we were talking about is located. I'm going to pause the radar right here. We're going to take a closer look. If you're a resident in Bastrop, get ready for things to get a little bit more active. The storms are moving into your neck of the woods. If you're in Garfield, Cedar Creek, it's coming your way as well. Noticing these storms just south of the airport, so we're getting some pretty strong feedback there. Let's take a look at where the hail is. The radar is indicating that if there were hail, it could potentially be just above a ½ an inch in diameter. As it is continuing to move, now we're getting reports of the system moving, I believe, to the northeast. Let me confirm. Yes, or no, sorry, now we're moving east again at 20 miles per hour. Storms are certainly keeping us on our toes, Erica, changing direction all the time.
I know.
It's moving northeast, then it's moving east, now it's moving east again at 20 miles per hour. So that being said, let me go ahead and throw that tool back on again. That's going to help you track when it will be in your neighborhood or on your back doorstep. So this is the current motion of the storm. It's going to slide it a little bit over to the east because these are the folks that need to be on alert. You see they did extend those tornado warnings. It looks like we have a new tornado warning, or excuse me, not tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning that is just to the south of the viewing area. All in the same direction though. You see it's east, slightly tilted to the northeast. I think they're trying to accommodate for the fact that the storms have been moving quite a bit. Okay. So let's go ahead and throw that tool on there. We're moving east at 25 miles per hour. Okay, so if you're tuning in right now and you see these, see the blue box that has all those locations listed, you need to be on alert because factoring in both the direction and the speed of these storms, this is where that system will be setting up within the next few minutes. So if you're in Bastrop by 5 o'clock, that's in the next 19 minutes or so. Camp Swift by 5:02, Cedar Creek by 4:41. So that's literally on top of you right now. Once again, if you're just tuning into this, there is the potential for hail that is included within this line of storms. The main hail threat that we've been tracking so far this entire afternoon, ever since these warnings were issued, is to the south of Austin. Now we are tracking some moderate to heavy storms that are to the north of Austin, but currently there are no warnings in effect. We're still tracking tons of lightning associated with it and some pretty healthy rainfall rates, but you just need to be on alert and be especially weather aware if you are south of Austin right now and through the next few hours. The main concerns we're going to be tracking: large hail, damaging winds, and heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flooding. In fact, we do have an active flash flood warning just to the west of the KVUE viewing area, and we have seen multiple reports of hail. We are also seeing multiple reports of wind damage. I'm looking over here in the Facebook Live comment section, and we were just discussing how a viewer was mentioning her trampoline had been blown through, the dog cages had been tossed around, the fence had been blown over. So we are tracking some pretty significant damage that is associated with these lines of storms right now. So if you're just tuning into this Facebook Live, please let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from, what you're hearing, what you're seeing. If you're able to safely take pictures or video, please submit it to us through the KVUE News app. It's free to download on the App Store and in the Google Store, and you help us tell the weather story so that we can safely and even more effectively warn your friends and neighbors that are in the lines of these storms. So we thank you in advance for that. But most importantly, make sure if you're taking those pictures and videos, you're doing so in a safe manner. Your safety is more important than any picture and any video. I'm telling you right now, I do not care about video and pictures as much as I care about your safety. Okay, so once again, this is what we're tracking. We've got several active severe thunderstorm warnings, 2 of which do factor in to residents in the KVUE area. I'm going to pull those up again really quickly. So we have this one. This is kind of like the remnants of one of the warnings. It expires at 4:45. This includes Caldwell and Travis County. You do already see the areas that have been extended and expanded for these warnings. And actually what I've noticed they've done is they've just gone ahead and grouped it into one severe thunderstorm warning, which makes complete sense because this line of storms is still pretty strong to the south. This is where that meso low we were telling you about. This is a mid-level atmospheric disturbance that is causing a little bit of rotation. We have still not had any confirmation of funnel clouds or tornadic activity. I have seen a few viewer comments saying that they've been looking up in the sky and they did see that they were noticing some rotating rain, some rotating clouds, but we have not yet seen confirmation of any tornadic activity. But a majority of the KVUE viewing area, once again, this is going to be east of Highway 281, do fall under a tornado watch that is in effect until 9 o'clock this evening.
So I think we're going to have to finish this Facebook Live.
Yes.
Only so I can prep my graphics for the 5 p.m. newscast, which will happen in 15 minutes. And then you guys can have a live update there.
Yes, and what I think I might be doing is I might be transitioning over into our weather office where I might hop onto Instagram Live just to give an update on Instagram. So I'm going to be doing that on my my meteorologist Instagram account. That's at Make It Rain Shane. If you want to continue the discussion and continue commenting what you're seeing, you can do so on that platform. I'm going to be going live probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Okay, so until then, I'm going to go ahead and wind down this Facebook Live. But once again, Chief Meteorologist Erica Lopez is going to be live on KVUE starting in the next 14 to 15 minutes, and we'll have the latest in regards to your forecast and what you are seeing. Until then, please, please, please stay safe, stay smart, most importantly, stay kind, and we'll see you again very, very soon.
Thank you for that. That was a great live. Hey.
I'm gonna have to switch those lights.
My mic is hot.
Lights?
Actually hot, not like hot,
Oh.
but it's hot.
Hot.
Like temperature-wise, she's hot.
Are you on camera?
Huh?
Are you
No.
on camera? No.
I'll take that so I can change the battery. Thank you.
Chica.
Thanks.
I mean, she's warm. She was providing a temperature.
There's a difference between hot and it's like.
Um,
Oh no, that's.
Okay.
it's like skin